Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Stacy Lockington, could you please call the roll?
Khadijah Islam,
Here.
Chris Lau.
Here.
Lindsay Need,
Here.
Maggie Smith,
Excused?
Bridget Todd Robbins,
Here.
Barb Wench. Here. Crystal Lee,
Here.
Jennifer Deek.
Here. All right, with 6 of the 7 board members present, I declare a quorum. I note that the agenda has been posted, distributed, and sent to the local media. With this in mind, are there any changes to the agenda? I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
So moved.
Chris has moved.
Second.
Barb has second. To approve the agenda as published. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the agenda as published, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. The motion to approve the published agenda has passed. And do we have any public participation tonight? We do not have public participation this evening. So moving on to recognition and thank yous. Dr. Mueller.
Yeah, tonight I want to start with celebrating in that we each year have foreign exchange students that join us in our school district. And this past year, they're finishing up right now, we have 4 students. We have one from South Korea, one from Chile, one from the Netherlands, and one from Italy. And tonight, if Alfred and his host, Miss Kind, could come forward a minute, we just want to thank them for spending time with us. And there's a handheld, or yeah, right there's good. Yeah, right there. And just, if Alfred could just share a little bit about what he has experienced here and things that he's enjoyed.
Yep. Hello,
Hi, Alfred.
our friends. I'm come here and I'm played soccer and wrestling, and now I play baseball. I'm enjoy American food. Like
Good.
my favorite food is hamburger.
Oh,
I like hamburger.
excellent.
And
Well, thank you for sharing. And we have something for you. We have a commendation for you and a special pin to take back in memory, like in kind of your congratulations and kind of graduation from Holmen High School. So we are going to present that to you.
One, two, three.
Thanks, Alfred. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. Next this evening, we have another recognition, a very well worth honor. This is something that isn't easy to accomplish or get. And if I could have Miss Bresky just come sit over in the chair over here at this table, please. Thank you. Don't worry, I said she doesn't, I just want to recognize her this evening, but that way people can. So, Miss Bresky has earned the 2023 Herb Cole Educational Foundation Teacher Fellow. What that means is basically she's recognized for her support in teaching excellence and innovation in the state of Wisconsin. The program's goal is to support Wisconsin teachers in their pursuit of unrealized goals for their classroom and professional development. She is an outstanding teacher. She's been in the district for, multiple years and has really had an impact and influence on, I would say, hundreds, if not thousands of students here in the Holmen School District. in addition to this distinguished recognition, Heather will receive a grant for $6,000 for her classroom and a matching $6,000 grant awarded to Holmen High School. So that is going to definitely be a great impact for the students there at that school, all because of the great work she does. So how that works is she was nominated by some people that thought, wow, she's doing an outstanding job, and then you have to submit an application, and there's hundreds of applications that come in, and she was one that got selected. So just wanted to say congratulations and thank you for being a part of Holmen School District.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Great work.
Okay.
Is that all you have?
Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on to reports and discussion. Next, I welcome the Holmen Middle School Student Council to present.
Oh, I suppose we could have done high school. Oh, yeah, you can go on over. Yeah, you can sit down and get comfortable and present from the table over there. If you want to stand, there's a little microphone you can talk into. There's two of them. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
you see the presentation there? To click on. There we go. And I really like your shirts.
I didn't get to wear my matching one because I came straight from purchasing the items for the staff luncheon this week. So,
Yeah.
all right. It's up to you guys. You guys, this is your show.
Yeah. You can present from wherever you're comfortable.
I'll sit here, and they're gonna.
Okay. All right.
I'll
Excellent.
introduce.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for having us tonight. I'm Jen Dinger. I am a school counselor at the middle school, and I am one of the advisors for Student Council. These are three of my amazing leaders that are in 8th grade. We have Julia McBride, and Brooklyn Young, and Maynee Vang. So they're going to take us through and tell you about what we've been up to this year. There's lovely shots of all of them. Oh, go ahead.
Here is our amazing student council. We are one of the very few clubs that actually work throughout the year, which is actually very cool to have. We have a great number of 40 to 50 students, which is a really nice number because these students like to make a difference in the school community and just the community in general. Right now, we are trying to take more leadership roles instead of having advisors actually lead for us. So it's nice having students lead instead of advisors. To start the year strong, we kicked it off with homecoming, and it was actually really fun since we took the theme into our own way of HMS Student Council Got Talent, and we had very cool acts and like judges with athletic arts, and it was just like really fun to start the year. And we even had our very own inflatable dinosaur, so that was also very cool.
To start off our school year, we had a fundraiser, and it actually goes to our budget for student council, which is really nice. We had a lost and found donation because the lost and found was getting crazy. Also, about 15 students got to help out outside of just like student council and just like with like just the school, and got to help out in the community.
And that was for the the pumpkin bash or the fall fun with the community center. Yeah. Okay.
Reading should not be presented to children as a chore or duty. It should be offered to them as a precious gift. By Kate DiCamillo. I think this is a very inspiring quote because we get to see our kindergarten buddies and we get to read to them. We always have tons of fun, and we also got to help them out with picking out books that they would like from the book fair.
Okay. In November, we made over 60 pies for the La Crosse Community Center for their Thanksgiving dinner. This picture was taken the day after because we were so busy that we did not get a picture done. And we had leftover pie filling from that day. So we ate pie before school started and took that photo. Okay, so we hosted the Veterans Day Assembly, which was our first big community assembly since 2019. Maynee was the student coordinator, and she also said the Pledge of Allegiance. I said a poem, The Unknown Soldier, and we had our student council members take pictures of all the people there, and then we had Isla Sommerfeld's grandfather, Jerry, speak about his experience in Vietnam and all the alternating injuries he had throughout his life.
Oh, nice.
And then for our springtime, obviously after the break, there's the winter blues. So then to think of spring, we had a dress-up days. So then just to like uplift everyone and just like kind of like have fun. And we also had parent-teacher conferences, which was actually like fun. Like we had students just like help around and just like help people if they needed it. And then again, we had the Evergreen Book Fair, which was actually really fun since we had to meet our kindergarten buddies again to help them.
Okay, so we break our student council into project teams to get things done faster and more efficiently. And we have 4 teams. Our first team is our biggest team, and it's our school assembly team. So we have a ton of members help run our big events, and these aren't just whole school events. We can do stuff just with 8th grade, just with 6th grade, just with 7th grade. Right now, we're doing an advisory scavenger hunt all throughout the grades with different clues to find which locations in the school are which day to win prizes. And then our communications team got that out. They make our posters. They get all our visions to our students and us, because we obviously know middle schoolers do not always look at email or stuff, and they need a giant highlighted poster on the stairwell.
To continue with decorations and stuff, the hospitality team creates cards and not only for staff, but mostly for staff, but also for community members. And they make it really colorful, really fun, and have different sayings on there. The welcoming and inclusive school team has been trying to put up signs in the bathrooms saying like, you're always welcome, you're always accepted, and has been doing that as an ongoing project.
And upcoming projects we have is this week is actually our staff appreciation week. So then we are doing a all staff lunch on Wednesday, and then tomorrow it's actually our staff walk of fame, which is going to be really cool to have. And then on the 19th, we have 5th grade tours. So then we get to meet our lovely upcoming 6th graders and show them around. And we have a group that's really excited to do community walks and trash cleanups, which should be really cool. And then at the end of the year, we have activities that are coming up, so then we could celebrate with each grade level to support of all the hard work all the students have done this year.
All right, so just to round it out, thank you so much. This year we haven't been able to go off-site as much, and as you know, transportation is a little bit of a tricky issue, and so that is one area where we are affected because it's, you know, pulling them out of class and then trying to find transportation. So we have just not done that, but we are really excited. I think we'll probably be transitioning to the high school student council. That's a perfect transition because they were able to come over and introduce our 8th graders to what they can walk into, and also looking forward to some maybe more partnership with them to do some of those community events. So, any questions?
All right, any questions? No, nice presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice job.
Okay, the Holmen High School Student Council will now present their annual report.
All right, hello board and everyone. We are the Holmen High School Student Council, and today we'll be giving you our year-end summary. To begin, I am Cameron Dummel. I'm a senior this year, and I am the president of the council.
I am Quinn Moldenhauer. I am vice president, and I'm a junior.
I am Emily Voss, and I am a junior representative.
I'm Daniel Ott, and I'm the freshman representative.
And with that said, we are going to jump straight into homecoming. Homecoming was our first major event that we threw on this year, where we conducted numerous activities for students and staff along not only within the building and for the community as well. So one of the major things we do with homecoming is we plan the parade that took place. This was a great opportunity as it allowed us to pair with the police department and get everything prepared for the signage and get all the ordinances approved and everything up in place. Then with that, we had 50 entries this year of floats and various people walking in the parade. This was a great opportunity for the community to get together and show pride for Holmen. And with that, we created dress-up days for the high school, where students had a unique day every day of the week to dress up for homecoming week and show off their Viking spirit.
Adding on to homecoming, we started this tradition last year, and we're hoping to continue it throughout the next years. We do free movie nights for the students at Holmen High School. During homecoming week this year, we played Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and concessions were available. And last Friday, was it? Yes. Friday, we played Top Gun Maverick, and that one was in our FAC.
We also had our blood drive during the fall and spring. We were planning on having one over the summer, which will be great. And then we had 147 blood units collected, 74 in the fall and 73 in the spring. And we awarded 3 seniors with $250 in scholarships for a total of $750.
We went to festival to shop for Holmen's families in needs. We called it Holmen's Hope Food Shopping. And basically we had a competition to see who could be the closest to $100, who was the fastest, and like who bought the most amount of items. And it was a really good team bonding experience, and we had a lot of fun, and we helped many families in need.
So around the holiday times, we also had a little bit of a party where we came together and baked cookies for the first half of it, where then we put those cookies into the staff lounge, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And we were able to provide those for the staff of Holmen High School. And then after that, we followed up with calling all elves, which is a tradition we have in Student Council, where every year we have the phone line open and students can call in and we're Santa's elves and give them the opportunity to ask Santa for what they want.
We also did Valentine's Day candygram sales during the week of Valentine's Day. Students and staff could purchase candygrams. I think we did, what was it? Sweethearts and lollipops for purchase, and students could write a nice note and they would be delivered to the students that they were sending it to's advisory.
This year we also did Salvation Army volunteering, where we went to the Salvation Army during the spring and we served warm food to the people in need. So that was a really good experience.
Just recently we had our candidate forum, and Quinn, Cameron, Alan, Abby, and I, we helped do the candidate forum, and yeah, for the school board.
Something new that we have been working with administration and student leadership team this year with is staff hiring tours, where staff coming into the high school who are going in for their interviews, immediately after they have their interview, get a tour by Holmen High School students to make it a little bit more of a personable experience for them and to give them an idea of what the students are like in the building as well.
This is another new thing we started this year. We paired with Mr. Piersma at the high school and also administration, and we introduced an award called Standout Student Award. We really did this because we realized there was a lot of students that were not being recognized for all of the amazing things they're doing day to day. So this way, the students are able to be recognized. They're recognized monthly, and we do monthly drawings. I know last month we did free prom tickets, so someone got free prom tickets that was submitted. Basically, this allows the teacher to check whichever attribute the student was following, and they can write a little description, and then these are sent out to advisories, and there's a way for staff to submit them digitally as well as write them by hand.
And like Quinn said, we have monthly prizes, and at the end of the year, what we'll do is we draw a student name at the end, and they get a prize as well for the year. And over 100 students have been recognized since implementing this during February 2023, so that's amazing. But yeah.
With that said, we want to say thank you to the board, thank you to all the people at the district office, and thank you to the high school and high school administration for all you guys do to help support Holmen High School Student Council. Do you guys have any questions about Student Council at the high school or any of our events?
I need to know the phone number for Santa's elves.
When we get closer to that time of year, we'll have advertising go out, but it is actually just the phone number for the high school.
Oh, what? How do they know?
All right, anything else?
Secret's out where the elf shop is now.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right, next up, we're moving on to item 8.3. Executive Director of Instructional Services, Kim Edwards, will present on the 13-16 Reading Teacher Licensure Cohort. This item will appear on the May 22nd consent agenda.
Oop, not that one. There we go. Good evening. I came before you about this time last year asking for your support to host an embedded 13-16 Reading Teacher Licensure Cohort. It's a series of 15 graduate classes that would be taught by 3 of our qualified School District of Holmen staff. We're able to offer that at a greatly reduced price, and as a result, then our staff would earn their reading teacher licensure. Thank you to your support. We currently have 15 of our staff who are on track to earn their reading teacher licensure at the end of this semester. Now, there was such a great enthusiasm around these last couple of semesters that we had a number of teachers reach out to us and ask, can we run that again? And so I'm here before you to ask if you would support us in starting another cohort that would begin with the summer semester and would run through spring of 2024. We also have a few open seats currently, and it looks like we'll be partnering, even bringing in possibly some School District of Onalaska teachers to round that out as well. So, so they'll get a reduced price, not as reduced as our School District of Holmen staff. Any questions about that?
Any questions?
Okay.
No questions, thank you.
I'm
I guess
still here.
Stay right there.
Yep. So the next I have is a Luther College field experience contract for your consideration again. This would be a continuation of our existing agreement with Luther College. This allows us to host their clinical students, their student teachers and such. And it's an exact replica of the contract that we've had with them for years. It just extends it one more year. Questions about this one?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, moving on to item 8.5. Crystal Mott, Director of Business Services, along with Janice Wavra of the Insurance Center, will present on the 23-24 Employee Benefit Insurance Renewal. This item is for report only.
I'll go here so I can.
Good evening. As you can see, Julie is not here with us, so as said, it would be me and Janice presenting to you this evening on our employee benefit insurance renewal for July 1st, 2023. touchy. So on tonight's agenda, we have our health insurance plan information, including some rate, premium, comparable, and premium information, our dental insurance renewal and those related premiums, our life and disability plan information, the Allstate plan information, our increased education on consumerism relating to insurance plans, and then some information on our health savings account and alternative benefit participation. So we'll start with the health plan information. Initially, the district received a 15% rate increase quote. However, working with the insurance center, we were able to successfully negotiate that to a 4.7% increase. We did go out for bid. We received 25 different options that we were considering, which came from 3 different providers. That includes our current provider, WCA Group Health Trust. To lower our premium, we are increasing the in-network single deductible to $2,000. It's currently at $1,500. And the family deductible to $4,000. That's currently at $3,000. And then on the out-of-network side, that same single deductible increases to $5,500 from $5,000. And the family deductible increases to $11,000 from $10,000. Aside from those deductible increases, which will reflect on a slide up coming up, all other plan design options are remaining the same for 2023-2024. We do just note, and again, you'll see this too, that under the Affordable Care Act, there is an in-network maximum out-of-pocket for an individual, which does increase to $7,500.
As we talk about the increase that we received from WC, I think it's important to share with you kind of the history of where the district has been over the number of years. So this slide represents on the left side the single premiums, and on the right is the family premiums. And this goes back from 2012 to current. The gray bar represents the district's amount of the premium they pay, and the burgundy column represents the amount that the employees pay. The red graph line that's going up represents a average market increase at 6%, which now is actually, if we could get a 6% as far as what they're showing for medical trend, that would be amazing. We've seen a much greater number over the last 2 years, but that just reflects how we've been able to manage and control the overall cost, not only to the district, but also the impact to your employees. The next slide is the same information, just a little bit bigger format for you. Again, and we're just trying to share with you what the impact is and how we've tried to control and manage the costs to both the district and the employees. And the district continues to pay 85% of the monthly premium. The employee is responsible for 15%. So we are showing you both the single and the family. And that information we've shared with you before. I just think it's important to redirect that and show that again, because it's certainly what other districts are feeling and other private sector employees are feeling as well. The next slide shows you the 21-22 plan year, the current plan year, which is 22-23, and the plan for 23-24. So this is a 3-year comparison. And you'll note on the 23-24, which would be effective on July 1st, it reflects in-network an increase in the deductible for single or individual coverage at $500 and for a family at $1,000. And that same increase would apply to the maximum out-of-pocket, to the out-of-network as well. One thing I want to point out as we evaluated the plan offerings for the upcoming year is I know it's been extremely important for the district to offer a plan that offers both of our local large employers, meaning Mayo and Gunderson. And with the WCA contract, we're retaining both the Alliance Network, which gives access to the Gunderson market, and the PHCS, which is our Mayo. And that, I think, has been a huge advantage for not only recruiting, but also for retention. And one other thing I'd like to point out is your plan is what we call a high deductible health plan that is HSA or health savings account compatible. So what does that really mean? It does give the opportunity for the district to contribute to the employee's HSA account and the employees to contribute their own dollars to an HSA. So there's certainly some tax advantages for the employees to do so. It's not a requirement. We have a lot of clients that offer HSA plans, but there's no employer dollars that go into that account for the employee. So the donation or that contribution to the employees, I think, is extremely well received. And always a very common question is, how does our plan at Holmen compare to two of the other larger districts in the area? And we work with a lot of them, and there's been a lot of conversation not only between insurance agents and brokers and consultants, but also the districts themselves. I've been getting a lot of phone calls from surrounding districts that are struggling with some of the rate increases and trying to figure out how they can control cost. So this slide represents Holmen, which is your first column to your left. That is the plan for 23-24. La Crosse has released their plans for 23 and 24, which was reflected there as well. And you'll notice they're offering two plans. They have the same benefit structure, but they are offering different networks. So their first plan, where it says Alliance only, that means that the employee and family members can only go to providers that are within the Alliance network. And again, in our local market, that would be Gunderson facilities. The buy-up option is the Alliance and PHCS, which means that the employees and family members could also access Mayo at the in-network level. So what La Crosse is doing, they're offering the Alliance plan, and if the family would like to have the option to include the Mayo, then it's called a buy-up option where the employee is paying that additional premium. I also want to show that there's a significant plan change for the La Crosse employees. Their prior deductible that they offered their employees was a $1,500 deductible for single. And the
$1,600.
I'm sorry, I need the stronger readers tonight. I better look over here. Their current plan as far as single deductible was $1,600 and family was $3,200. And their maximum out of pocket for single was $4,800 and for a family was $9,600. They're increasing their deductibles and the out of pocket as of July 1st to $3,100 for single. Family is going up for deductible to $6,200, and then the corresponding maximum out of pockets are also increasing. The yellow is represented. It's because I did not have confirmation if they're still having a separate maximum out of pocket for prescription copays. So when we prepared the PowerPoint for you, we didn't have a confirmation on that, and they are still continuing to have a separate out of pocket for prescriptions. And we did not receive their actual premium that the district's paying, but we did receive what the employees' cost will be. And you can see that the cost impact to the employees to have Mayo access is significant. With the Onalaska, they are offering two plans, but they did change their plans for 23-24. Their HMO plan is the same, which means they can access the courts network only. But instead of offering the point of service plan as they have in previous years, they dropped the point of service plan and they've added an HSA plan. So HSA, again, it's going to be an availability to make and receive HSA contributions. The key thing I would like to point out with the change with Onalaska, by them dropping the point of service plan, means their employees will no longer have access to Mayo. So when they announced their new plans, we had a lot of phone calls from district employees at Onalaska asking if we could offer them a plan privately that would continue to give them access to Mayo providers. So that is a significant impact to some of the employees that prefer Mayo.
So we bring these to you once we have our premium solidified for the renewal. And this chart is updated with the July 1 figures and reflects the annual changes for employee premiums. So again, the employee annual premium, an individual on single coverage will pay $64.80 more in 23-24 than they did in 22-23 for that coverage. And the family, those on the family plan would see an annual increase of $144. Again, as mentioned before, this is with the employees paying 15% of the premium. And similarly with this chart, we've updated it for employer cost with estimates. Again, paying 85% of the total premium and then factoring in some of the alternate benefit or ABP payments for those not taking our health insurance, as well as, again, that not required, but that HSA benefit that we do offer to employees. So you can see the year-over-year increase for employer costs for the July 1, 2023 renewal. Moving on to dental, our initial renewal from our carrier Delta Dental came in at 8%. Again, with Janice and the Insurance Center, we were able to successfully negotiate a 5.99% increase, and this is with no plan design changes. So we will remain with Delta Dental, and there is no change to any of the plan design that we currently offer. So then both of these charts did get updated. On the employee side, again, the annual premium impact for an individual with single coverage is $6.05 more, and those with family coverage, $15.50. And on the employer side, the estimated impact for that increase on the employer, in this plan, the district pays 80%, and the employee is responsible for 20%. In regards to life and disability, our current carrier is Kansas City Life. We offer employer-paid life insurance and employer-paid long-term disability, and then employees are able to elect additional life insurance for themselves, spouse, or dependents, as well as voluntary short-term disability. We are going into our second year of a 2-year rate guarantee with Kansas City Life. So there are, again, with them, no changes to our plan design or no impacts to any premiums. And we just like to note that Kansas City Life is the provider of our EAP, our Employee Assistance Program. We are also continuing to offer the All-State plans. These are voluntary for employees to elect for accident, cancer, or critical illness coverage. And these can get offered during our open enrollment with guaranteed issues, so it's a great time for those staff who may be looking or considering these to take a look during the open enrollment period. Just a second. So with some of these changes, we definitely try and offer education to our staff, but it's just more apparent to increase some of the education specifically to consumerism on our health insurance plan. Choices that we make where we access care can impact the cost to the employee as well as the impact to the group plan, which ultimately impacts our premiums and our renewals. So hoping to do additional education on the HSA contributions, the pre-tax deductions that can be made through payroll deferrals versus after-tax contributions and what that may mean for individuals, ways that they can, again, review where they're accessing care, how they're accessing care to impact overall costs, continuing to share information on the cash clinics in the area, neighborhood family clinic and community care clinic. Again, those on the district health insurance plan can obtain services there for no cost. And those not on the plan can access low-cost care services there. And then the telehealth and teledoc offerings that are still available with our plan as well. Finally, we just want to share a bit of information on the health savings account and that alternate benefit plan. So these are just some figures on participation for those either enrolling in the plan or those on the alternate benefit. Again, that's the cash in lieu for not taking the health insurance. So we have 328 employees that are eligible for HSA contributions. That means they're on our health insurance plan and they meet the criteria to be eligible for an HSA. Of those 328, there's 11.3% that are receiving only the district contribution, and 88.7 qualified for the full contribution through the wellness program within the district. That comes at a cost of $714,750 for those HSA employer contributions for the 22-23 plan year. And again, as we've mentioned, they can make HSA contributions pre-tax through payroll. We have 58% of those eligible participating in that option, totaling annually $419,289. On the alternate benefit plan side, we have 176 employees eligible. 8.5 receive only the base contribution, and 91.5% qualify for that full amount through the wellness program. Any questions on this?
So what are the amounts for the ABP that you were just showing? Is that, I probably missed it.
I was trying to think if we had it on here.
We don't.
For those that participated prior to July 1st, 2011, don't quote me on the year, the full amount, the maximum amount is $7,200 by obtaining the district contribution and participating in the wellness. So they would get $3,600 if they do not participate in wellness. And then those that are eligible for the plan after that July date, the maximum amount is $4,200, or the regular district contribution would be $2,100.
Okay. And then with the all-state plans that you mentioned, I mean, if somebody were ill or had cancer or something like that, and so they know they have it, they can then take that out during the open enrollment period? Is that how that works?
The guarantee issue is for if you enrolled during the open enrollment, and the guaranteed issue for this upcoming year is the accident and the critical illness. The cancer, they'd have to go through what's called evidence of insurability. Prior years, we've had a true open enrollment, meaning there was no evidence required. There is pre-X, 1 year only on the critical illness and the cancer, meaning if you're currently doctoring for a condition, that particular condition is excluded the first year. But there's also a wellness benefit built into it, so they're still getting a benefit out of the plan. The accident is true guaranteed issue because an accident has a date and time associated with it, so anybody can enroll in that during the open enrollment. I can say that we have paid a lot of claims, not only for district employees and family members since we introduced the all-state plans. The nice feature of them is the dollars are paid directly to the employee as cash that they can use for their medical expenses, their loss of income, their day-to-day living expenses. So it's really helped financially protect families.
Great, thank you. All right, any other questions?
I have one. Back to the HSA. Sorry for my own ignorance, but can you talk a little bit about the qualifications and what that process looks like? You mentioned the wellness aspect of it. Just for that, qualifying for the max.
Yep, so each year the district has a wellness component. So there's previously we did like biometric screenings through a company like Helix. With COVID and just other feedback from staff, we've transitioned that to other offerings. This year, for example, we brought it in-house and tried to expand it to not just focus on physical wellness, but other aspects like financial, emotional. So there's components that people complete. They still have to complete their annual exam with a provider, but as long as they submit information on that in the time frame that's required, they're eligible for that full contribution. We do have ways to help people qualify if they are interested in doing it. So,
Fabulous.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there a cost to the telehealth?
Well, during COVID, telehealth was covered at 100% by most carriers because of the inability to access appointments in a clinic setting. That's changing as of May 1. It was supposed to change because of the COVID release timeframe. Some of the carriers are still continuing to pay for it 100%. I'll have to confirm with WCA what their decision has been. We haven't received an update yet, but it's been very favorable from a carrier's perspective to provide that to their membership at no cost, or definitely a reduced cost than going into a clinic setting.
Yeah, anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is item 8.6. Director of Facility Services Chad Brando will present the approval of tonight's consent agenda, bid information for the Evergreen Elementary building envelope.
Good evening, board members. This is a happy day. I get to bring forth the first three bids for our 2022 referendum. Evergreen it's for the building envelope at the Evergreen School. We have the three bids, three scope of works, if you will. We had scope 1 was the roofing sheet metal wall panels with a alternate bid for fiber cement wall panels. We went with the bid on that one. That gives us but the main difference is for the metal panels, that was just a piece of metal. With this alternate bid, we get insulation, a vapor barrier, and a fiber cement board, if you will. So it's like the high school, as far as their last referendum, where you see that nice brown stuff as far as siding, but this is solid. So we thought we'd go solid to get a little more strength for those elementary kids that like to possibly kick a ball or stand close to the building, so on and so forth. So the lowest bidder on that was Lediger Roofing, and they got the alternate bid also. That came in at $487,566. For scope of work 2, the aluminum windows, that went to Lacrosse Glass, with their bid coming in at $151,686. And the last bid for the work of scope 3, the masonry restoration, went to Fowler and Hammer for a total of $171,732. I'm going to say this out loud. I'm going to knock on wood. I hope we can keep this going for the whole referendum. But simple math, we came in about $279,000 less than what we had estimated. I think some prices are starting to come down. So again, I'll knock on wood. We can keep that thing going for the next 3 years. It would be awesome. Other than the approximate start date is 6 June of 2023 for this building envelope for Evergreen. And when the completion date, we're hoping is around mid-August. And
That sounds great.
I'll take any questions if anybody has it. I'll take a high five from the back row there eventually.
Rachel?
Somebody in the back row give me a high five later, maybe. But if there's any questions, I'll stand tight here.
I don't see any questions. Thank you so much.
It's a good day. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 8.7. Dr. Mueller will present the 2023 Holmen High School candidates for graduation for approval on tonight's consent agenda.
Yeah, you kind of said it all. So tonight is the night that we present to the board that we have 294 students that are candidates for graduation on Saturday, May 27th of 2023. And this is all dependent upon their successful completion of their academic requirements. And we hope to see all 294 at the Lacrosse Center on that day. So presented in front of you is a listing of all their names for approval and consent at this meeting so that we can all enjoy their company at graduation coming up, I can't believe, very soon.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background materials on each item or has discussed it at a previous meeting. These will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled out of the consent agenda and will be voted on separately. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as provided.
So moved.
Motion by Chris,
Second.
second by Khadijah. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion passes.
Okay. I would like to, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a couple of announcements this evening. First, just would like to thank Julie Henderson Carvala. I can't ever say her last name. I apologize, Julie. She's driven bus for us for 5 years, and she'll be retiring. So we just thank her for her years of service and driving school bus for us all those years. And then I also would like to introduce to you tonight our new principal starting July 1st of Viking Elementary School. So Nina Swanson, if you could come meet me over there and we'll say a few words about you. So, yeah, we can, here, we can even sit down. Sure, perfect. No, I just wanted to introduce Nina. She is obviously new to our district, our second newly hired elementary principal for this upcoming year, in that she comes to us from Lemon Wire Elementary in Toma. I'm sure had a long day today, and thank you for being here this evening in that. Also, she has been a 5th grade teacher at Eagle Bluff on Alaska. And she's definitely been a leader around, you get a lot of times here of professional learning communities, and has done a lot of work around that in the area. So we are looking very forward to her joining our leadership team in the school district. And I just wanted to introduce her to you this evening. So.
Thank you all for having me. I can't wait to get started. My daughter goes to Viking. She's in kindergarten there, so it just feels like it will be home, and I've already felt very welcomed by the staff there. So thank you all.
Great. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you all.
All right, moving on to the board debrief. I will call upon board members and ask you to present any comments or committee reports you have. Tonight, we'll start with Khadijah.
Thank you. I would like to start just by saying that this past Friday, May 5th, there was a proclamation made on Missing or Murdered Indigenous Persons Awareness. So to read from the White House's proclamation, on Missing and Murdered Indigenous Persons Awareness Day, we remember the many lives shattered or lost and commit to working with Native communities to find justice, keep families safe, and help them heal. Part of the end of this proclamation was encouraging all levels of government to bring awareness to this day, and so I feel that it's my duty as a part of a local government to bring this to the forefront. That being said, I had the incredible opportunity this past week on Thursday to Wednesday. What day was it? Days are all running together. To start meeting with some of our directors. So I got to meet with Mike and Chad, Greg from IT, and Dan from Transportation, Mike from Nutrition. One thing that I gleaned from that time with all of them is just an incredible passion for this school district, an incredible love and stewardship of our resources. And it just made me reflect on the fact that I think our job up here as a board is a whole lot easier when you have such passionate and capable and competent people who are running each area of our school. So I want to applaud them for all the work that they are doing. Obviously, Chad got to speak with us today, so thank you for that. And I look forward to meeting some more of the directors in the next coming weeks. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Khadijah. Next up, Chris.
I just want to thank the student council for coming out and presenting tonight. Just keep up the great work that they do at both schools and in the district. Congratulations to Ms. Bresky on her fellowship award. That's a great honor for her and our district. And then tomorrow is National Teacher Appreciation Day, so if you can, maybe send a couple coffee or some donuts to school with your kids. They would appreciate it. And then welcome Ms. Swenson. Look forward to meeting you next year.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Lindsay.
Yeah, I want to second what Khadijah said. It's been fun to have these meet and greets and to hear things that you just don't know about when you're not behind the scenes. Things that you're really impressed with, such as the meals and the opportunities kids have. And, you may hear little rumblings of people thinking, oh, I wish our meals were healthier at the schools. But then when you sit down with somebody who's responsible for it and read all the documents they have that regulates what they are feeding to our children, you realize this is an incredible district to be a part of, and the choices our kids have, and the giant salad bar, and how they're working every year to reduce the sodium by 10%, and all these little details that you just don't know as a parent. And it's really cool, and gave me a good feeling and confidence after meeting with everybody that they're, like you said, being fiscally responsible, and just heard that, and looking out for the best interests of the kids. So I'm excited to finish those as well. Thank you.
All right, Thank you. Next up, Bridget.
Yeah, I also wanted to thank all of the student council students for speaking tonight. I think it's one of the greatest parts about being on this school board is to hear from our students. And I love seeing the connections being made across schools and just all of the values that we're creating in our young people and the support that they are getting from all of the adults working in our schools. And then I just wanted to mention I've had lots of parents recently talk about and reach out to me regarding the recent survey that students had the opportunity to fill out regarding hate and bias, and just the incredible like positive feedback that I received from parents talking about they love seeing the step towards really improving and really just really recognizing and understanding what our school culture looks like. So I just wanted to applaud our leaders around taking those next steps and really creating this really diverse and inclusive school district. So I really appreciate that. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Bridget. Barb.
Yeah, Chris already mentioned it. I thought it was Teacher Appreciation Week, I guess. It used to be a day, now it's a week. But I just would also like to say thank you to our educators for all you do and for your dedication to the district.
Okay. Thanks, Barb. Crystal.
Continuing on with the idea of Teacher Appreciation Week, I, as a student, want to state myself how grateful I truly am for Holmen's staff, teachers, and adults who work within this district for creating a better and welcoming learning environment. Second, I want to add that it is currently Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and I want to take time to appreciate all the minorities we have throughout this district, as I am genuinely grateful for the diversity they bring us. With that, we also have things like AP testing, so I wish students who are currently taking AP testing or who have already took their test to do well, and I wish them well in their results. We have WIAA tournament series coming up, so I want to congratulate those working well and hard on their co-curriculars. And continuing with our seniors, there is basically about, I'd say, 13 more days left until our 2023 seniors are headed out.
Right.
Their graduation ceremony will be held on May 27th at the Lacrosse Center. And so with that, I hope that everybody goes there and wish our seniors well. With our student council from the middle school and the high school talking about transitions in 8th grade, I just want to say that we're also in the middle of working with the transition from the 8th graders coming to the high school, and it's super exciting because they get to ask other questions and wonder and just get a good idea of how it's going to be like in high school, along with our 5th graders getting a good idea how it's going to be in middle school. Adding on to more student activity, there was also State Solo Ensemble recently held this weekend. And as State Solo Ensemble is really important to some of our student musicians, I really, really want to congratulate all the students who have worked hard and took their time out of their days to do their solos, quartets, duets, all of that just to make it to state. Finally, I want to thank those for taking the time to fill out the surveys that we'll have out tomorrow, which is the I cannot say the word equity survey? Yes. And some students themselves have been picked from our counselors and such to have a consultation with Ms. Goodenough. That concludes what I have to say. So thank you to everybody who has took their time to listen to me.
Thank you, Crystal. Excellent report. I just want to thank Nina Swanson for being here. I appreciate you coming out, meeting the board, and getting recognized for your new position at Viking. I want to thank the Student Council for coming. I really enjoyed their presentations tonight and learning more about what they're doing. And I also want to recognize all the educators that teach our kids day in and day out for Teacher Appreciation Week. Really, we appreciate them all the time. It's not just 1 week, but we'll recognize them now. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Jaden Roden for the new school record in discus. I was pretty impressed with that.
Very much so.
Yeah. So that's what I have for my report out. Moving on to item 10.3, the board has been provided with notes from the March 27th, 2023 Facilities Committee meeting, so please take a look at those. Our upcoming board meeting schedule is as follows. On May 15th, we have a Student Achievement and Learning Committee meeting at 4:30. May 17th, we have Personnel and Governance Committee at 5. May 22nd, we have a Facilities Committee at 5, followed by a board meeting at 7. May 24th, there is Senior Recognition Night at 6:30. May 25th, we have the retiree reception at 3:30. May 27th is the high school graduation ceremony at 1 p.m. at the La Crosse Center. So please let Stacy know if you plan to attend the graduation. And lastly, June 2nd is the last day of school. So that has happened really fast. Item 10.5, the Personnel and Governance and Facilities Committees are advancing 13 policies to the board for a first reading. If approved, these policies will become effective on July 1. So please take a look at those before the next meeting. This evening, we have a closed session. So I'm going to ask Chris Lau to read the motion to move us into closed session.
Sure. Be resolved that the Board of Education hereby moves to adjourn into closed session pursuant with Wisconsin Statute 19.85, Section 1, subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, in this case, base wage negotiations.
All right, Chris Lau has moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Lindsay has seconded to move to closed session. Motion carried. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Are we supposed to do that? We're supposed to go in the roll call, aren't we?
Well, we'll take a few minute break here for people to leave, and then we'll take roll call. Yeah.
Okay.
Insurance.